Hello, everyone. Good morning. This is Gary Gatto. Welcome to Race First coverage of Round 4 of the inaugural season of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 Series, coming to us from Texas Motor Speedway. As you can see by all the paint around the edges here, it's the revamped Texas. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. But it's a nice, calm day here in the race-verse universe here at Texas. 65-degree air temperature, 68-degree track temp. Gusts are calm and slow out of the north. Humidity is 45%. So the ingredients are right for some close racing, but we shall see. We are just now getting underway for qualifications. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left to play here as drivers are putting in their best laps. And we'll get settled in here. It's just me today for this first race. It's been a long time since I've done a race by myself, so we'll see how well my skills have maintained or degraded being solo in the booth. Currently watching Lee, by God, it's Kane with his qualification run. Currently fourth with a 212.100 miles per hour. Now fifth, provisionally on the pole, is Salvazzi, 220.184. Here's all of the IndyCar records you really need to know at Texas. When Cart came here, Cart still holds the track record. They did turn an official qualifying session here. Kenny Breck, former Indy 500 winner, went over to the Cart Series for Rahal Letterman Racing there and turned a lap of 2:33. Ooh, Christensen in the wall hard there. 2:33.447. The IRL IndyCar track record, it's currently still held by Billy Boat, 225.979. Those were both on the old configuration. The old configuration was 24-degree banking on both ends. Currently, right now, they redesigned corner 1 and 2 to be wider and lowered the banking to kind of encourage multiple lines. And we'll see that today in today's race. But pretty much through 3 and 4, it's one line on the bottom. That's the fastest line. All the all-time IndyCar wins leaders here are Scott Dixon. He leads with 5, to nobody's surprise right there. Elio Castroneves with 4. Sam Hornish with 3. And actually joining Sam Hornish, I believe, is Joseph Newgarden now. I think he had his 3rd from last year. And Scott Sharp, Scott Goodyear, and Will Power each have 2. So those are all of the all-time winners, and I don't think we're going to see any more IndyCar racing if they're going to redesign this place entirely in the image of Atlanta. And if that's the case, we probably won't see IndyCars back here at all in history. So hopefully they won't do that. But a little birdie that kind of talks to us on a Tuesday night says that might be the case. So we'll see. Many drivers also got one of their few career wins here, whether it'll be their first win or their second win, third win, but yeah, not very many in their repertoire. But Billy Boat has a win here. John Paul Jr. has one of 2 wins here. Jeff Ward has his only win here. Thomas Scheckter has one of his just couple of wins here at Texas. So 58 seconds left to play. Julian Altena, the host, with the most, 221.087 at the top of the charts. Eckert, 220.815. So only one car in the 221 bracket. Santos there, also P3, 220.425. Craig Forsyth doesn't really seem to care about qualifying. 209.827. We'll watch him come up through the field. Same thing with Bravado, 191.056. Watching Paul Irvin right now trying to improve on time. Yeah, there's Forsyth up to 219.039, so probably taking it easy on that first lap for the tires. He's probably one of the more experienced drivers in the DW12 in this particular field. Former Speedway Series winner there in the Lionheart IndyCar Series, which uses these cars. And that is it for qualification. So it looks like Julian is going to get the pole, 221.087. And with that, let's take a look at today's starting lineup. Here from Texas, As mentioned, Julian Altena on the pole, 220 with a 221 lap. with a time of 23.777. Raphael Eckert, we've seen him before on the Monday and now going into the Tuesday night IndyCar Oval Series top split with a 23.806. Edison Santos with a 23.8 as well. Patrick Salvazzi, 23.8. Pavado got up on the wheel there for his second lap and has a 23, clocked in with a fifth fastest, 23.9. Craig Forsyth with the sixth fastest, 23.6 with a 23.999. Hunter Smith, seventh. Fyodor Dozhenko, I hope I'm saying that right. Dozhenko, that will be P8. John Christensen, P9. Gary Lerman, P10. Paul Irvin, P11. And Alec Vandenbosch, P12. Lee Kane, 13th. Joshua Tucker, 14th. And with no time, also another veteran of these cars, Hugo Gallas, P15. So only a 15-car field. Hopefully we'll see some good racing. 134 laps is what we got scheduled for the day. It'll be a quick one. Everyone's still lining up on pit road. As we're waiting for everyone to load in, get going here. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining the broadcast. Make sure to smash like. And also, if you're not subscribed, also do that as well. And click the bell so you don't miss out on future Race First iRacing IndyCar broadcasts. And we're going to have lots of them. We'll just tip the iceberg here as the license has been renewed by iRacing. It's good to go to stream these things. Bringing IndyCar racing, albeit a slightly older version of it here with the DW12s. Although, really, depending on who you talk to, though, the DW12 is still the car they use today. It just has the IR18 Aero kit on it. The 12 is, they're still using the same tub and everything. Not depending on who you talk to. Actually, that's just an accurate statement, to be honest with you. But DW12, this configuration stopped racing in last race was 2017, and then 2018 the new car with the new Aero kit came out, and they've been racing that ever since with the slight modification of the Aero screen, and then this year some engine components, and on the road to the hybrid system here hopefully soon here in the IndyCar series. But Julian bringing him down slowly into Texas turn 3 and 4. On his outside is Raphael Eckert. Giving that pace car a little extra room before putting his foot down. Pace car is in. Field's under the control of Julian. Here he comes. Foot down and away. Nice start by Julian. We are underway here in Texas. And the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Series, or IndyCar DW12 Series inaugural season kicking off here, round 4 on Race First. Eckert to the inside, made up that distance. He's going to race Julian 2, 3, and 4. Julian's going to stay high, give Eckert the spot, move Eckert to the top. There's a good battle between Craig Forsyth and Pavado for P5. Dozhenko to the inside of John Christensen, a little further on back. I think we see some actually further on back as well. Josh Tucker with a racing around Alec Vandenbosch, Gary Lovern. Tucker in that graphics DW12. That's a team there in the Lionheart IndyCar Series as well. Dozhenko now using the high side. Whoa! And he's into the wall. He did not want to be there. He might be damaged. We'll see. We'll keep the eyes on him. Actually, that's Hunter Smith. I believe he might be the damaged car. Yeah, he does not look good on the side of his car there. As you can clearly see, it's kind of caved in, and now he's kind of getting railroaded a little bit. He's going to have to get that car back into the pits, trying to get out of the way. Car definitely is not going to be handling right. He is floated back to the back of the field, and probably should make a visit to pit road. We'll see as he bringing it down under, no, still under power. So he's going to keep at it and hope for a caution. Meanwhile, back up front, Raphael Eckert. There we are over his shoulder, going through a wide turns 1 and 2, down to the inside, protecting that IRL line, Indy Racing League line, when they used to race here, the shortest way around. I think he's a little aggressively doing that so early, but he is he's one of the veterans here in the series, so he knows what he's doing. Here's Julian taking a look now very closely on the gearbox of Eckert, going into 1 and 2. Eckert staying down low. Exit off the corner, up high. Going to stay up high this time. Going to cut down, kind of do a bit of a Pruitt fade as he sets up into turn 3. Let's go a little bit further on back. Let's go to the battle between Salvazzi and Santos. Good 3-car battle with Pavado, Forsyth, and Christensen right here. Forsyth looking to the high side. Going to get a good run off the corner. Got chat. Someone says they're rooting for Pavado, Eckert, and Santos. Looks like Team Brazil there. Good morning to all the folks down in Brazil. Here's a battle between Dozinko and Paul Irwin. They've been going at it for like the last couple of laps. Dozinko's been using that high line pretty much all the way around. That's kind of what almost got him in trouble with Hunter Smith. Gary Lover and Hugo Gallas side by side through 3 and 4. That should give the position to Lovern. Move him up to 12th now. Gallows back to 13th. 11 of 30, 134 in the books. So far, clean and green the entire way. Now, this style of car did race here for real at the Texas Motor Speedway, even after the reconfiguration. You can check out some of those races on YouTube. Some real bangers of a race, too. You go back and remember Graham Rahal winning, losing one and winning one here. Matter of fact, on some of those tight races. Meanwhile, back up front, we'll go back up to Eckert here. Getting a little bit of a cushion on Julian. Again, watching his line coming off of 2 and kind of cuts across the entire straightaway, kind of fades it. Very strategic move. It's not a block. Blocking is not allowed in IndyCar racing, but to a degree you can protect your position. So you just see here the fade across the straightaway as he sets up for the bottom of turns 3 and 4. So it's only blocking is if the lead car reacts to what the car behind him does. So you're pretty much allowed one move, and then after that, if he reacts, or she reacts, to what the driver behind does, then it's blocking. Although pretty much any offensive move to an IndyCar racer by the car in front. Caution on the speedway. John Christensen, looking at him right here, had an issue. We'll go back in the Wayback Machine, find out what happened. Two-car incident. And, okay, so let's go get another TV camera here. Christensen going high in the corner exit. getting into the wall, cutting down, almost getting Forsyth, but unfortunately collecting an innocent Josh Tucker. And that is day done for both those fellas. They could try to get those cars repaired, but they are not going to drive the same. And it looks like, yeah, just looking at Tucker's car, that's just bad luck on his part, really. Just wrong place, wrong time. So Tucker and Christensen, 2 cars out. Looks like Hunter Smith is also withdrawn, so now we're down to 12 cars remaining. And that's still a long ways to go. We got cars staying out, cars coming in. Altena and Forsyth are staying out. Raphael Eckert is coming in. Alec Vandenbosch is staying out. So there you go. There's the Brazilian contingent. They are all in right now. So now we got 2 different strategies going on, folks. We're going to have people with new tires here on lap 17, and we're going to have people with although Eckert did get out in front of Vandenbosch, of course, on one timing and scoring screen I have. We'll see if that gets sorted out. If not, Vandenbosch should be third, as we see him here on the racetrack. But we got 2 strategies going on. We have a slightly older strategy of 16 lap, 17 lap tires, old tires up front, slightly lighter fuel load as well for those top 3, and then the remainder of the field all on new tires and full tanks. So what we're going to see here is if track position, it really matters, and can they keep those cars at bay with the aero push. So we are under caution here on still pretty early on here at Texas. There you see the lap count. We're on lap 18 of 134. So we got a little bit of an interesting setup here involved with these cars. I'm getting some driver feedback from Craig Forsyth. Says there's 0 steering response in this setup. You could turn the wheel to the 2 o'clock and nothing happens. This will be an adventure. So far it's been an adventure for 3 drivers, although it looks like John Christensen is getting repaired. We're getting ready to go back to green. Lights are out on the pace car field. Will soon be under the command of Julian Altena to bring this field back up to speed. Right behind him is Craig Forsyth. P3 is Alec Vandenbosch, and we are underway back green, going lap 19 here at Texas Motor Speedway. This is round 4 of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 Series, their inaugural season. And we are right here on Race First. Thanks for joining us. And let's pop on the roll bar here and follow Craig Forsyth around as Eckert gets around Vandenbosch. And we'll see how they're turning this wheel. That is a lot of input to make that car turn. It is. I say it looks like Julian's pretty much repeating kind of the line that Eckert had. Craig is just maintaining his line. It's a debate whether you want to follow the car in front of you when they start. Ooh, Julian hits that bottom line, gets a little loose. That's going to cost him. He's going to get a run on Forsyth. Forsyth, going to get a run on him. They're going to look to the outside. Forsyth not changing his line now. He goes down low. And they built up a bit of a gap. Caution on the speedway. Bravado and he has already punched out. So let's go back and find out what happened. Oh, and it's a net code from Brazilian on Brazilian fratricide there. Oh, my goodness. So they don't want us, Club Brazil does not want to see that. And to put Bravado in the wall, Day is done. He might be able to get some of that repaired, come out and make a lap or two, but any chance for the win is probably up in smoke. So now Julian and the guys that didn't pit, and Eckert made up one spot on Van den Bosch right there. We'll take a look. There goes Craig Forsyth. So he is going to say, I don't think there's going to be another caution after this. I better go now. He's going to stay out. Julian's going to keep the track position. Van den Bosch will keep the track position. Some other cars coming back down pit road. Hugo Gallas again coming down pit road. Again, back from the back of the field. Doesn't hurt at all. You're losing just a little bit of track position, but you're going to top off the tank and maybe get a new set of tires. Maybe keep what you have on. Depends. And then you're just going to stay out longer than everyone else and then hope for the caution when that overlap happens. So Hugo Gallas will go back to P11 along with Craig Forsyth in 10th. There's Craig. See his roll cage right there just over the top of the wall here at Texas. As we get a better drone view here at the top above Texas Motor Speedway in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. You're a visit to the great state of Texas. Of course, IndyCar has been coming to Texas every year since 1997. This will be the first year this season, and when the IndyCar season kicks off here in 2024, it'll be the first time that IndyCar has not had Texas on the schedule since then. Julian going to take a look. Yeah, he's going. So he wanted to go an extra lap for whatever reason, and now he's going to hit pit road and is going to cycle on back. So that gives the lead back to Eckert. So those in the Eckert fan club in chat, your boy is back up front. Van den Bosch is still staying out. He's not giving up that track position. Don't really blame him, but we'll see how well those older tires are going to hold up here on the restart. And the lights are out. As you notice, the lights are also out on the board. What would call it? The stands, the fence post. There's also lights on those as well, and they appear to be out. So let's go back up front. Base car lights are still on, so like we're going to go for another lap here under caution. Yeah, there you see on the fencing right there, the yellow flashing lights. Another indication to the drivers and fans. We are under caution. Go through the field a little bit here. Take a look at some of these drivers that have moved their way up. Van den Bosch, of course, with the track position up to second, up 10 spots. Savazzi, he's here in third right there. Irwin, nice start for him, up 7 spots. Dojinko, up 3 spots there to P5. Santos and P6 there in that team-colored car to the leader, Raphael Eckert. Lead by God, it's Kane. It's P7 there in the Rebel Alliance Dallara. Right behind him, Gary Lovern in the green VOR car. That's a team VOR car. Although he might not be familiar with the color green and the bad connotation on cars. We'll see if Julian's taught that to him. Craig Forsyth rejoining in 9th. Julian Altena in 10th. Hugo Gallas 11th. Everyone getting in position for the restart, up against the wall. Field will soon be under the control of Raphael Eckert. We'll be getting ready to go back racing here. Or lap 26. Pace car is off. Eckert can go about any time now. And a smooth restart by Eckert. Down and away. We're back to green here at Texas. Irvin looking underneath Salvazzi, getting the position and using the draft of Van Bosch to help. Van Bosch goes down to defend the inside. Irvin going to stay on the outside. Now he tucks in back behind him. Get a little bit of that draft. Going to try to get a run on him going into 1. Here comes Toshinko looking to the inside. 3 different lines going through turns 1 and 2. It's the way they redesigned the course to be like that. Give different choices to the driver. All the while, Eckert's liking this as he continues to pull away. Irvin looking to the outside now of Van Bosch. Can't quite get the run on Van Bosch that he wants to pull that pass off. Van Bosch showing that if you can hold your position, the aero wash behind your car is definitely paying dividends right now. Here comes Irwin to the outside. Now I'm going, just about going 3 wide in the 1. He's going to get a good run off the corner exit here. Oh, into the wall. We got a wreck. Cars all over the place. Carnage, carnage, carnage. So it looks like Irwin is back underway, but let's go back in the Wayback Machine here and find out what happened. Multiple cars involved. I think Van Bosch might even be involved in that one. We got one of the Team Brazil cars involved here. So let's hop on board Race First 1 Airship. Kind of take a look here. The center of your screen there, the green car, that is Paul Irwin. Okay, so really, Irwin got collected in what looks like Van Bosch running up into the gray. So we'll watch this again. Gray. Now he picks up Irwin. Now he picks up that's Santos. And kind of coming in the back of all this. Oh, that's Salvazzi, the luckiest man in the racetrack right there. Let's Salvazzi. It's just a duck and pray move. Let's watch this one more time. Let's watch it from his roll bar. Duck! Oh! Now, did he get a Phantom X? Because if he got a Phantom X, he might have some damage on his car. We'll see. I don't see any damage on his car from the camera shots now. He's got a black car. It's kind of hard to see that stuff. But he might be the luckiest man on the racetrack right there. Yeah, we'll get a good look there as we're back to live television. I don't think he has an issue. But we are running low on cars here. And we're only 31 laps into a 134 race, or 134 lap race. So that's not what we really wanted to see. Eckert looks like he decided to pit again, staying out as Forsyth, Altena, and Salvazzi. So while we're under caution, is a good time while you have a few seconds to help racers keep this positive momentum that we've got with IndyCar racing returning to broadcast streams from iRacing. To help us keep this positive momentum, if you enjoy race first coverage of the VOR IndyCar DW12 series and respect the stream, do us a solid, make sure you support us by subscribing, and while you're at it, don't forget to smash the like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future race first iRacing broadcasts. Sunday, starting here in a couple weeks, will be known as DW12 Sunday here on Race First. As in the morning, we'll be covering the VOR DW12 series, and in the evening, we'll be moving on to the Dark Horse. I believe their season 7, their 7th season of running the DW12. We'll be covering now exclusively their season 7, coming up here starting February 18th, and they will be at Fontana. Also coming back to the platform here, coming back to the channel here at Raceverse, the return of the Formula Indy series. Yes, Indy cars with that pretty much race. They have them race like Formula One cars, so standing starts, no ovals, with the exception of one. They'll have Indianapolis because you can't have IndyCar racing without at least Indianapolis. But again, that's going to be about starting in March sometime. I believe it's going to be the 5th season. Now, we had them for every season with the exception of the blackout season, and glad to see them return. So the Formula Indy series, the old FIS, check them out in our playlist on our channel. Lights are out on the pace car, getting ready to go back green. Coming back to green, the order will be Forsyth, Altena, Salvazzi, Eckert, Dojinko, Lovern, by God, it's Kane! Paul Irvin, looks like he has managed to get repaired and back underway. And Edison Santos, I believe, is trying to, well, he might be getting an extended repair session. We'll see. He is still showing active in the pits, but he might be spotting for one of his teammates. So we'll see. Looks like we have 8 cars running. John Christensen is back. There he is. So we have 9 cars running, I believe, or 10 cars. 9 cars. Santos in the pit. Going green. Here with Forsyth bringing him down. Forsyth making them all wait, actually getting to the Geico restart zone. Julian getting a run. A little bit of a fade there by Craig, but it's a good defense, keeping his line safe, keeping that position guarded. Julian right there stalking. John Christensen now, by virtue of getting repaired and going back out, made up a couple spots just by passing cars on pit road. Good on him. He's now worked his way into a top 10 finish here. Even if he doesn't do anything else, he's going to finish 9th. Still, we might see some more keep out there, keep at it. Might still see some more attrition. Bit of a 5-car breakaway up front. Here goes Eckert to the inside of Salvador. He's going to go for 2 for 1 as he takes over from Julian and move Eckert up to P2. Let's hear it in the fan club. Your boy made an aggressive move there, got 2 spots. Move him back up to P2, and now as he's trying to run down Craig Forsyth. Get an idea of laps that they're turning right now. Last laps by these cars, 217, 216, 217 by Eckert. Lajinko 217. Fastest lap in the field is in the race is Edson Santos, 219.1, as he is on pit road right now. Let's ride along with Eckert. Hear him shifting gears. So the big difference between these, the DW12s and the IR18s and a fixed setup race, for those of you who don't know and you're just curious, these cars have no tools that you can use. You can't even change the fuel map. Here he's coming right up the Forsyth here. Try to get another, there we go. Oh, there we go. Try to get a camera shot. Not well labeled. Don't want to get too close. And of course, you have possible net code with these guys. Try to get a good camera shot. There we go. These are badly labeled. We'll have to fix that. And here comes Zashinko. So he worked his way around Julian and Patrick. Patrick falling back. I'm wondering maybe he might have some damage that did incur on his car with that incident. And it's just kind of holding him back right now. Let's get an idea of speeds of the line. Yeah, 214.7. Doesn't seem that slow compared to everyone else. He's out of the draft for sure. That would impact overall speed. But I don't think he's damaged. But we'll see. We may be looking at a long green flag run to close this race out now with so few cars left on the track. Back up to Dozhinko. A bit of a three-car battle here for second. That is Forsyth, Altena, and Dozhinko. Your leader is Rafael Eckert, who's led for pretty much a good chunk, not all the race, but a good chunk of it. Then we had some overlaps with pit strategy. Give you an idea of pit strategy right now. Eckert 18 laps on this current stint. Forsyth 26, Altena 25, Dozhinko 18. So the middle two here with Forsyth and Altena on a different strategy than the bookends of Dozhinko and Eckert. And in chat we have a vroom vroom indeed. So Dozhinko getting a good run on Altena going in the one, but has to kind of back out of it. We're 50 of 134 in the books. Again, thanks for joining us on this Sunday morning. Of course, last night in the VOR IndyCar series, they raced at Zandvoort, and Pedro Bibel was the winner there. And then Bruno Miranda, there you go for Team Brazil, the Storm, the Brazilian Storm. He got P2 there. And Seb Alexander, longtime series participant there on the IndyCar series, got a third-place podium. Oh, their next stop is Road America. Later this season, I believe they have a stop at Daytona on the oval. That's going to be interesting. You don't want to miss that. Although in the history of VOR IndyCar, there has been a successful, very successful race on the oval at Daytona that went caution-free the entire time. And I think it started like close to 30 cars. Actually sent some people home early that race, I believe. Here comes Oshenko, got the run on Julian down low into 3 and 4. That's the quickest line. If you get the run on down low on anyone in 3 and 4, you're going to get the position. Julian then will start tracking him back down. Meanwhile, back up front, and we'll get the, you keep seeing the last lap, so we'll bring back the intervals here. Eckert with about a 1 second lead over Forsyth. So now Eckert's starting to get into the range of some slower traffic here. That in front of him is Christensen and Kane. So Christensen, looks like he has a dinged up car a little bit there. Stays high, lets Eckert go low. Now Lee Lee Kane stays low and allows Eckert to go high. Eckert pulls that off. So to get back to saying earlier, the difference between fixed DW12 and fixed IR18 racing on the iRacing service is that the DW12 doesn't have all the in-car tools. You can't change the engine map. You can't add weight jacker. You can't remove weight jacker. You can't increase, decrease the stiffness of the roll bar, the rear or front. You can't really do much of anything in the car. And it's just pretty much you and the setup. That's it. Now, in an open setup, all those tools become available. But in fixed setup, those tools are not available. Now, in the IR18, of course, all those tools are. And this is a car that they've stopped putting development into in the service. Obviously, you can tell by the way they crash and they bounce around and whatnot that they haven't done anything else. They're a fun car to drive. You get it free for joining the service. I wish they would. I don't know what it would take for them to unlock those tools, if it's a lot of coding or not. I believe people in the forums have put in a request to have them unlocked, but to no avail. But it's a very fun car to drive. It is. This is one of the closest, actually the closest battle on the racetrack right here. Altena just passing Dzenko, going down low, getting the position going in the 3 and 4. Dzenko really not letting him, allowing him to get away. So we're coming up on the halfway point here in about 3 laps. Lajinko getting a run, and he clips the quad oval grass. That's going to cost him a little momentum. You saw his car twitch there as he caught a little too much of the grass there, a la Buddy Lazier from Charlotte from the IRL in '97. Go back and watch that race. Trying to run down Billy Boat there, and he clipped the grass. Julian this time guarding the inside. Gonna keep it going in the 1 and 2 here, down low. We were talking during the Indy Open, because the Indy Open series, the IndyCar Open series, which is the official iRacing IndyCar, one of the official iRacing IndyCar series, and it's open setup. But we broadcast on Saturdays at 1 p.m. a strength of field race, their second of the week. And they are also at Texas, Julian with the crossover, guarding the bottom there. And we were talking that at the corner of exit 2 is like a magnet that just kind of pulls these cars right in. And we've seen it a couple times already today. And then when your car gets really, really loose, or that right rear gets really used up, we'll probably see I can show you right where it happens again for a lot of drivers here. Right about here on the exit of corner 4, the cars tend to get very light in the back, and corner 4 narrows down through a funnel, really. And if you're racing side by side with a car there, you can bang wheels through there. Not advisable. So Christensen on pit road. I'm not sure if he's doing... yeah, it's going to be a somewhat of a scheduled stop as he's limping this car home. Currently up in the P8. Paul Irvin has retired. So move up Christensen one more spot due to that retirement. Here comes Craig Forsyth. Scheduled stop. Last stop 46 laps ago. And this is not going to get him home. Even with fuel conservation, he's going to have to stop one more time, probably with about 15 or 16 to go. So we'll see how this shakes out. Now what we have with the green flag pit stops happening, I think Julian is coming out pit road right there. There he is. Julian stopped 47 laps ago. So his lap 72. Puts his last stop right about 119. That's with no fuel saving, or able to at least do what he did this stint. So we'll see. Keep eyes on Eckert as McLovin, Gary Lovern, McLovin. That's right. It's going to be his nickname now. Gary McLovin is he is now in the tail of, or in the draft here of Eckert. He has now moved his way up to the 6th spot. He is 2 laps under his current stint, and he has really freshy tires, and that's what's allowing him to keep up and run down the leader here. Eckert looking probably to pit here soon, and I think that's exactly what he's doing. Coming off the banking, always dangerous, getting to the speed limit. And you think we got it. Eckert, 43 laps on that stint. So if we take 74, which is the current lap count, and we say, oh, if he could at least duplicate that run again under green flag, that's 117. So everyone is looking at one more stop with about under 20 to go, somewhere in there. So this is the part of the race now that everyone is now, I gotta believe we're not going to have any racing partners out there. So here comes Eckert. Forsyth might be able to get a run on him. We'll see. Nope. He's going to get it within a second. 8 tenths. 7 tenths, 6 tenths. Close. So the undercut here, not as powerful as they would have hoped, but still got him within 4 tenths, and that count keeps coming down. Keep watching this battle for first. Just got out of pit road for these two. Craig 7 laps on this stint already. Eckert just 2 laps in. So we're looking about lap 117 for a lot of these people. So we'll keep our eyes open about lap 115. And in the meantime, we're just making laps until then. And if anyone can go the distance, I don't think anyone can go the distance. Six cars left on the lead lap. Eckert, Forsyth, Dajinko, Altena, Salvazzi, McLovin. He is right there, P6. 8 cars still running. Kane and Christensen, our last two there in 7th and 8th. So now we're just looking at making laps until the last pit stop, and then after that point, it's a sprint to the finish. Join us again in 2 weeks as the series moves to Nashville, the Nashville Super Speedway, and that is not an easy course at all. I have raced that course in the Lionheart DW12 series, the Speedway series, with this car, and it is not a very fun track at all. I remember talking to the setup expert after that race, and he was telling me that he had all the downforce that he could dial into that thing, dialed into it, and it was still a handful to handle there. So that is next week. So my experience with that track basically is whoever gets the lead early and can defend can pretty much lead wire to wire. But we'll see. We'll see. There's still that's why they have to run the race. That's 2 weeks, so that's the 18th. And then also later on the 18th will be round 1 of the Dark Horse DW12 IndyCar Series from Fontana. Rest in peace, Fontana. Now looking at 3rd place, Fyodor Doshenko, and right with them is Julian Altena, washed out high there. Julian now well within the draft. Wonder if Julian is doing any fuel saving. Let's ride along with him. Hear him shifting gears there. Drivers in Indy cars are always busy doing something. No, he's not saving. He's going underneath. And move Julian up to 3rd. And Julian might have a little teammate help coming up here soon, as Christensen, even though it's 4 laps down, is coming back to Julian. Julian could use that draft, but Doshenko's not going to wait for it. He sees it coming, and Christensen stays high. Doshenko, Julian underneath. Julian now back out of the draft, looking low coming into 3 and 4. Julian gets the position back. Whoa, Julian with a wide move there. And I think these two might be trying to swap the lead to run down the leader. Now, we saw that in the Indy Open Series, and then they also have Lee Kane there. It's going to lend a little bit of a draft, these two. So both Julian and Dzinko get around Lee Kane, who's sitting in 7th now, 4 laps down to the leaders. Whoa, hitting the apron there a little bit. He is damaged. He's just trying to bring a limping car home, get some points. Meanwhile, back up front for you, those in the Brazilian fan club. There's Rafael Eckert, your leader. Pretty much dominated this entire race. He is right there. Still 1 stop to go. Probably looking at that stop here in the next 20 laps or so. And he's 17 laps into his current stint. Last stint, he went 44. More maybe like 30 laps here. We'll see. There's Forsyth just staying within striking distance. Now Julian is running down Forsyth. Since working his way around Dzinko, Dzinko has lost contact now with Julian. Once again, if you're just joining us, welcome. You're watching Race First coverage of the inaugural season of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 series. Round 4. Coming to you from Texas Motor Speedway. If you're liking what you see, it's a little bit of a boring race. It's just me in the booth today. We don't have a driver expert. We'll get that here in the booth here eventually. But on a short notice, on a Sunday morning, it's Breakfast with Gary and the guys at VOR. But make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and ring the bell so you don't miss out on the next race. We have lots of them on the docket coming up between now and really June. We're booked that far out. Of course, if you run an IndyCar league and you're looking for a broadcast partner, look no further than Race First. We know what Indy means. We have openings on Fridays and middle of the day on Sunday. We also have openings on Wednesday, so just ask and we'll try to work out something with you. But we by far have the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing right here at Race First. We know what Indy means. 98 of 134 getting into the final, I guess, third of this race here. And we'll put the camera on our leader here. And give you a little bit of sounds from the wall. Sounds from the Speedway here at Texas Motor Speedway in the Fort Worth Metroplex. A sprawling, almost twin city, double city configuration there in Dallas. Everything's bigger in Texas. Go back and take a look at Craig Forsyth, 2.5 back from your leader. Julian has now brought it within 0.8 of Forsyth. And I think Julian might be going to get the most benefit of a draft here through this stint. He's had to run him down, but he's now definitely within a second window of the draft envelope. The car from and Forsyth going to go to pit road. Oh, did he? He slid through. Did he get down in time? We'll see if he gets held. But he's going to pit here, and this should take him to the end. Up on the jacks. Pneumatic jacks underneath these cars. Down. Full fuel. And we wait. That is a black flag penalty for speeding on pit road for Craig Forsyth. And that is painful. That's going to put him at least a couple of laps down. And any chance to win is now gone. Just like that. That's what happens. He was going to try to play a little bit of a... he's going to try to play a little bit of a... game there to do the undercut here, and speeding on pit road cost him. So now he just simply needs to bring the car home. He's got himself a top 10 finish. More than likely, unless there's any more attrition, he's not going to be making up any positions, but I'm sure he is not very happy at all. Meanwhile, Rafael Eckert, that is one less antagonist for him in his way to a win here in the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 series. He works his way around a damaged John Christensen, trying to limp that car home for a top 10 finish. So now Julian Altena, 3.2 seconds back from your leader. Right behind him is Fyodor Doshenko. He still has to stop one more time. I believe Silvazzi has stopped. He is now coming off of pit road. So he is done. He should go to the end. And Gary Lovern, I believe, has stopped as well. He should be able to go to the end. So now we'll watch up front with anticipation to what these top three are going to do. Now, does Rafi decide to just stay in the draft here of Patrick in P4? I imagine he tried to, just to eke out a little bit extra mileage. We're probably within, for most everybody in the top three, I'm going to say everybody in the top three, you're probably looking at 10 laps or so, inside of 10 laps before they pit. Lap 38 of the current stint for Eckert. And there we see Eckert kind of clipping the grass there in the quad oval area, the second dog leg. I think Julian's on pit road, so we'll go to Julian right now. I'm willing to bet Eckert. No, I thought Eckert would probably react and come in now. Julian to a spot. This is a final stop. 20 lap sprint for everybody from here on out now. Checking chat in the league Discord server. Yeah, it looks like some of those mistakes that were made a little bit earlier on in the race. And here comes the leader on the pit road. Slow down. Get a better camera on him. There he is. Hopefully he got down underneath the limit. Yeah, we got drivers on there talking and apologizing for making contact. So it's a long day for a couple of these drivers. Don't beat yourself up. Happens to just about all of us here on iRacing. Eckert with his final stop car up on the jacks. A new set of tires. Just enough fuel to get to the finish. Down and away. And he is good to go to the end. And he stopped right about where we thought he would. On lap 117, so 17 to the end. Here comes Julian. Julian's cut it to 1.2. Eckert now back underway. Tires should be up to temperature. Edson Santos still has the purple lap at a 23.9 there, so this leaner energy group here, looking at the very least of the purple lap of the day, possible win. Leading the most laps, haven't let them all. Well, you know what? No, I don't think he let them all. Because we had that early pit cycle overlap. Julian 1.2, staying steady. 14 laps to go. And we'll take you to the field here right before we get to the closing stages of this race. Your leader is Rafael Eckert. Pretty much dominated today. Right behind him is Julian Altena. Julian has been consistently in this top 3 or 4, doing some different fuel strategy. Got him up there, put him in the back, drove back up to the front, avoided all the damage, all the carnage. And now working away around Lee Kane. Lee Kane currently in 8th. Was caught up one of the earlier incidents. And just limping a damaged car home there for the Rebel Alliance. Patrick Salvazzi, he has now worked his way up to 3rd. And we missed whatever move that was that got him around Dozhinko. So sorry we didn't bring that to you, but Dozhinko now 4th. Gary Lovern is looking at a top 5 right now if he can just stay on the lead lap and not get smalled up by Craig Forsyth. Forsyth in 6th. He is probably not very happy. Got caught speeding on pit road for his last stop there. John Christensen limping home a damaged Velocity Online Racing Team car. But looking at a 7th place finish if everything goes to completion. Lee Kane, again, we already mentioned him. Looking at 8th. Paul Irwin locked in at 9th. Edson Santos locked in at 10th. Vanden Bosch 11th. Gallus 12th. Pavado 13th. Tucker 14th. And Hunter Smith 15th. That is your field to run down. 7 laps to go. Julian still 1.2 behind our leader, Rafael Eckert. So after this, the series moves to mention, as we mentioned before, Nashville Super Speedway. And then let's get the rest of the schedule. I don't have an overlay for it yet, but then they move on to Phoenix, which should be an interesting race, although it's at the improper Phoenix. And Julian knows what I'm talking about there. I'm the old school legacy Phoenix guy. And then they wrap up the season just like Tony George wanted to do in the old IRL, right at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. So that will be February 18th, Nashville, February 25th, Phoenix, and March 3rd, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And that will round out the inaugural season of only 7 rounds. If you like what you're seeing, make sure to join the Velocity Online Racing Discord server and sign up. The car is free, I believe, now. It's part of the one of the free offerings of the service, iRacing. So all you need to have is the track, really. No entry fees, but donations are welcome. And before we get into the final couple laps here, make sure you do give us a thumbs up if you have not done so already. Get us the, not to donate yet, but the give us the subscribe and ring the bell. And donate if you can, and donate to the league there, and that will help them be able to bring you more racing action on various platforms. Coming to the white flag. Final lap for Rafael Eckert. Right through the middle through 1 and 2, nice and easy. Nice exit off of 2, staying in that high line. Going down to the bottom, about a half a car width, maybe a full car width off the bottom to 3 and 4. Nice exit and a nice win by Rafael Eckert here. And round 4 at Texas Motor Speedway in the first race on race first of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 series. Julian Altena comes home 2nd. Patrick Salvazzi comes home 3rd. Dozhinko comes home 4th right here. Gary Lovern, your biggest gainer of the day, along with Lee Kane, up 5 spots. He is going to come home with a top 5 and on the lead lap. Craig Forsyth comes home 6th. John Christensen limps it home in 7th. And Lee Kane in 8th. A minor victory there for the Rebel Alliance. There you go. As we mentioned, only a 15-car field. So Eckert, Altena, Savazzi, your podium here. Dojinko, Lovern, Forsyth, Christensen, Kane, Irwin, Gallus, Edson Santos, Landon Bosch, Pavato, Tucker, Smith round out the remainder of the top 15. All right. Time for interviews. Let's see if anyone shows up in the interview. I know at least one person will. And that's the one person I thought would be there. And Rafael Eckert has showed up. So we'll see if Patrick Savazzi shows up as well. We'll go ahead and bring on Julian down. And if Patrick joins, we'll bring him up next. Hey, Julian, got you in the booth. It's just Gary here today. I don't want to say it was kind of a boring race from your point of view, because you kind of made a race of it there toward the end with your last stop. You cut into Eckert's lead, but just weren't really able to reel him in. But from your point of view, it's kind of by the numbers type of race, wasn't it?
For the most part, yes, but I had a good battle with Theodore, I believe it was, for a bunch of laps. Like I tried to swap drive with him, but he didn't really seem to understand the memo of it.
Right,
so it
right.
turned into a battle more than working together. But it did work in a sense. Like we caught Craig by about a second over the 10-20 laps we did it, so it was good. But yeah, so it's really unfortunate for Craig that he got the penalty. But yeah, overall, I'm happy with the race. No, not so happy with the many yellows early on, but it's to be expected. Like it's kind of a beginner league. This league is supposed to teach the basics, so it's to be expected in a way. Setups are also not very easy necessarily, because putting on a fixed setup is really difficult with a legacy car. Like the tire model is outdated and everything. So getting a setup that is consistent and good and puts on good racing is very difficult. It's just super tough to put it on and have something that everybody is capable of driving. I think this was fine after everybody settled in. We had to put in a bunch of toe in, negative toe in on the front, on the right front, to make it turn. If it wasn't there, the car would literally take off in turn 2, which I don't think would have put on a good race. So this was kind of the best compromise that I could find in the setup. And I gave people the time to test it as well, and nobody came back to me. So yeah, that's just the way it is. But I think the racing was good. It was fun. I enjoyed it myself. Not as fun as Kentucky, in my opinion, but that's always going to be my favorite race of this season, which sadly wasn't broadcast. But it was a good race of attrition there too. But we were literally slipping and sliding and battling for the lead every lap. So that was a really fun race. This race was kind of a toned down version of that. It was still fun, but yeah, it was a nice change, I guess, in terms of the driving. It was different to Indy Open at Texas this week.
Do you think that the racing might have been different? Because I know sometimes the legacy tracks seem to agree with these DW12s a little bit better. Do you think the racing might have been better at legacy Texas versus new Texas? Or the same?
I don't really drive the DW12 that often, so I couldn't really tell. But I picked the modern tracks simply because the over refresh I would figure works better on the newer tracks.
Gotcha.
For instance, the legacy tracks. And I don't think the racing is bad at all by any means. Like the racing is good here. It just takes a lot of practice and a lot of patience for people to kind of learn the car.
Yeah.
Because at heart, this is the same car as the IR18, but because
Yes.
of the outdated tire and damage model, it handles a little bit differently in certain specific situations. Like when you're a little bit loose, for example, it might snap a little bit quicker than the IR18 does. But fundamentally, it's the same car. So people know this in the back of their minds and they go into it expecting it to be exactly the same, which they don't need to do it. They need to kind of keep a mindset of, okay, some things might be different, and that's something that will come with time. It's all part of the learning process, and like I said, this is a learner series. It's there for new people to the league, to the car, to kind of jump in. Like Lee, I spoke with him yesterday to get him in for the IR18 league. I saw he didn't really have any experience in the IR18, so I offered him to race here to kind of gain some experience. And that's what this series really is all about. It's free to enter for anybody to come in. So if you would like to get into IndyCars, oval specifically, because this DW12 series we run is exclusive to ovals. If you want to learn ovals, this is a great series to do so. There's a bunch of people from the iRacing League, so they know what they're doing, and if you need any help, you can always ask anybody. So there's the plug out the window. Yeah.
All right. Any other shout outs you want to give before we get on to Patrick, who finished third here today?
Yeah, I want to thank Alexander Bonney for sponsoring the DW12 series. That's the main reason why you're on here now, because we finally got the funds to do so through that sponsorship. So yeah, thanks to him again. I want to thank Jim Herrick from 40 Racewear for sponsoring us for the last 1.5, 2 years, including the dark year. I want to thank everybody that came out today. It was a difficult setup and track to learn in the beginning, but like I said, everybody did a great job after that. We had a really good 100 lap green flag stint, so that was good. So thanks again to those who showed up. Thanks to you for broadcasting, and hello to my girlfriend. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. And also, by the way, another plug. We have Super Formula coming up in a couple hours. So if you're a road course kind of guy and you like open wheel, heavy, not so heavy, light light open wheelers with heavy horsepower, really tricky to drive, but it's a lot of fun. It's in a way it's very similar to IndyCar, just a lot lighter, which makes it feel like it has more horsepower. It's probably the best way to describe it. But if you're interested in that, Super Formula runs tonight in European time in about 2 hours. So if you're interested in that, you can join it also. But yeah, thanks to everybody for this.
All right. Well, there you have it. Julian finishing P2. We will, I'm sure you and I will talk later, and we'll see you at the next one. Congrats. And until then, take care.
Yes, thanks, Gary.
All right. So let's bring down Patrick. Hey, Patrick, got you here in the booth here. It's just Gary doing the race today. Congrats on the P3. We missed your pass of on Dashinko. How'd you get that P3 position? Because we were kind of watching a possible brewing instance with the leader and the P2 catching him. And the next thing I look is your P3. So talk about your march up to P3.
Yeah, thanks, Gary. The race itself, strategically, it wasn't that good because on the first stint, it was really so that I was really, really falling off. It was because I didn't change tires at all for 2 cautions. Because I was like, maybe I would give a chance that maybe it will be a lot of cautions and then I will change it like halfway. But it didn't. So yeah. So I fall off, and then second stint I was just catching back up to the lead pack, making small progress. And then last stint I saw Craig got sped in pit road, so I knew the chance for getting P4. And then I saw Fyodor I think he got some sort of damage because after the pit stop I was gaining like a second lap on him.
Mm-hmm.
So it was sort of an easy job to pass him. It was at I think it was exit of 2.
Okay.
But basically for me, it was just making circles.
Yeah.
It wasn't the most interesting race. But after the last 2 races where I crashed out and I had technical difficulties, it was a really good result. Also, second podium as well. Since I got the first one at the Fontana for the season opener.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean it was really good actually.
It sounds like you're convincing yourself. Like, yeah, okay, this is not too bad.
yeah. This is not too bad actually. Well, I'm making small progress.
Right. Yeah, definitely making progress, and in a high attrition race like this too. And we understand those middle stints can be a little boring when you only have 8 cars out there, so you're not going to have a lot of side-by-side racing, not a lot of opportunities for future cautions. It does get a little boring. I've been in those races myself, but it's you got to keep yourself focused in, because even then, when you get into the boring races, mistakes still happen and you float the car up high and you smack the wall for no reason whatsoever, which that's what happened to Dashinko. We don't know. We'll maybe find out after the fact in Discord, but congratulations. You still had to run the laps. You still had to finish. You finished it, brought it home third. Any other shout outs, anything you want to make for any other fans or teammates or people at home you want to say hi to?
Yeah. Seb, please race next week. Thank you. That's what I want to say.
Okay.
I hope he's racing next week. So
All right.
yeah, thanks, Gary.
No problem. Congratulations on the P3, and we'll check you out next week.
Yeah, see you, Gary.
See ya. And we will actually just do this. There we go. We'll bring Raphael down to the, instead of me going to the waiting room, which I don't know how that happened, we'll bring Raphael down to the broadcast booth here. Here we go. Raphael, I don't know if you can hear me. Congratulations on the win. It was pretty much a dominant day for you.
Hello, Gary. First, thank you for my teammate, Edson Santos. Unfortunately, he crashed at the third yellow. But yeah, it's a nice race for me, leading most of the time. It's good to represent the Brazilian community, IndyCar, from IndyCar. We have powerful strength of field leagues here. And it's 3 races in this championship and 3 wins. Unfortunately, I lost the last week race. Very happy with that result and keep training for the next race. Thank you for the league for this free championship. This track combo with this car, it's good. And thank you for everyone.
Well, no problem. Your race kind of looked very. You kind of, like I said, dominated. Did you have any exciting moments really happen in the race, maybe early on when you were kind of racing through the field because you were on a different strategy than Julian and Craig? Was that about the most exciting part for you?
The fights in the track is not the most insane moments for me today, but I got a close one with the wall before the last pit stop.
Okay.
Really, really close.
All right. Well, at least you brought it home early, or brought it home not early, but brought it home without smacking the wall, getting that win. Congratulations. I believe is this your second win this season?
It's my third win this season.
Third win this season. So, well on the way to hopefully inaugural season championship. We will see you at Nashville Super Speedway in 2 weeks.
Yes.
Congratulations. See you then. So that is our winner, Raphael Eckert. He gives a shout out to his teammate. Sounds like his teammate might have been spotting for him there in the late stages of the race. Yeah, Julian's asking me, did we show the graphic? I did talk about the schedule, and we'll talk about it one more time here. I don't have the graphic overlay made up, and we'll have that ready for the next race. But in 2 weeks, February 18th, 113 laps, 150 miles at Nashville Super Speedway. That's going to be a very challenging race. These cars, last time I raced them there, it was a struggle. It was a challenge to keep the car off the wall, keep it going, and also avoiding other people's mistakes and maintaining pace. That was just a very, very tough race in general. Then we'll go to Pocono, not Phoenix, and that's the 2.5 mile triangle oval in the mountains there in Pennsylvania, Pocono Mountains. And that'll be a good race. These cars race very good there. And then they'll round out at Indianapolis. So the 25th, Pocono, and March 3rd, Indianapolis. I think that's going to do it for today. We'll have the overlay for the schedule ready to go next week. Well, maybe something for points as well. I want to thank everyone for joining us. Bit on the early side here. If you're in the Central Time Zone, certainly in the Mountain or the Pacific Time Zone. Now, if you're just like me, normally under normal broadcast situations where we're not going to have a broadcast on a Sunday morning, I probably would have been typical lazy American sleeping in past 10:30. But we're here nevertheless. thank for everyone for joining us. It was a eventful race, had its moments. I think a lot of people learned a lot of stuff, so we'll see how well and prepared they are for 2 weeks from now at Nashville. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium from Texas. Rafael Eckert with his third win of the season. Julian Altena survives to finish second, and Patrick Salvazzi gets a little good luck and gets his second podium of the season, and he finishes third. Join me again in 2 weeks for round 5 of the VOR IndyCar DW12 series as the teams and drivers go to Nashville to tackle a very demanding Nashville Superspeedway. Coverage this season begins around 10:30 Eastern Time. Again, that is 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. As always, you can find everything here on YouTube at youtube.com/RaceFirst. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not easy, so please help support RaceFirst and with the weekly grind and everything we do. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought of today's race, and if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing the like in the video. If you are new, and we know there's some new folks out there, make sure to click subscribe and why I'd hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out more RaceFirst other iRacing programming, including IndyCar racing from Dover for the Tuesday night iRacing IndyCar Oval Series and the iRacing IndyCar Open Series on Saturdays, which they will be going to Detroit, and soon to be joining our channel, the Dark Horse IndyCar DW12 Series, and later in February, the return of the Formula Indy Series in March. Did you get all that? So later in February, Dark Horse, later in March, Formula Indy Series. Keep your brothers set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing, RaceFirst, so we know what Indy means. For business inquiries to learn more about RaceFirst and what we do, visit racefirst.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter. I have an old overlay here that we can throw there. You can, bam. There you go. Follow Gary Gotcha. You can follow my other Tuesday guys right there, Stevie and Justin, and also you can follow the RaceFirst from our main RaceFirst account right there, all at the bottom of the screen. So for everyone at RaceFirst, I'm Gary Gotcha saying all happy Sunday. Thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here in 2 weeks in Nashville for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 Series. Good day.